Or your turn.
All right, call to order. 4:41. Roll call.
Done.
Done. Okay, awesome. McCowan Tower Parking Garage Interim Parking Solutions.
All right, Joe, do you want to speak to our discussions about the parking stuff?
Sure. So we don't have a lot to update from the last board committee meeting that we had to discuss it, but the city is definitely interested in basically sponsoring 2 levels of parking to support the community. We're working now. I think there's a call or another meeting set up maybe for next week to further with the city. But the hope is that they'll contribute to it. The issue that we have is we get the funding in place, so we have to close. We can't wait on the city if there's any delays. So we're kind of moving forward in good faith with design, and what we've kind of told them is we need their commitment by the end of this year if we're going to do it. If not, then it's really going to be too late, and we're just going to have to proceed without it. But I know the city would like to figure out a way to do it. I know the neighborhood would like it, so it's certainly something that we're proceeding forward with, and hopefully it'll be a win-win for everyone.
Joe, was the last design we saw, was that with 1 level dedicated for the city, or did you have any levels on the last design we saw? Or?
It
I thought it was
essentially
1.
had 2 levels
Oh,
for
we
the
did.
city.
Okay.
I believe it was 4 levels total.
Yeah, we needed the first 3, and then if the city wanted to, they could have
2
the last 2 levels.
Okay. So if they don't commit to it, then we're just going to go with 3?
We cut the levels down.
Okay.
Correct.
I did want to just say, I had some concerns last meeting regarding the proximity of the building itself in relationship to the current tower. I'm feeling better about it because then I realized, even when you're looking at a street, when where if you have 0 setback and 0 setback, you're actually street width is really where those buildings are. So the separation, to me, I'm feeling a little bit better about that. And then I've just kind of looked around at some of the existing buildings and seeing their relationship to themselves. I think I was more taken back because it's on our same site, so I was getting concerned. But then when I look into perspective of other buildings, there's actually fairly close together. So I just want to let you know I'm feeling better about
The
that.
one
So-
on the other side of the alley is 0 lot line.
Right. Yeah, and then that was the thing too. Even the relationship to this building to the one right here on the same property, it's very similar distance. So I'm feeling better about that. I still would like to see if there's any place of doing a little bit of green space on top, but I am feeling better about the building itself. Did anybody else have any comments that they wanted to?
Yeah, I find it extremely interesting that the lot line on 41 seems to be a lot different for the building that they just built.
Which one? Down in the quay?
No, further down. I think Blue Sky building.
Oh, yeah.
Their lot line looks a lot different than ours. I don't see any 12 to 15 feet. I think Kimberly Horn must have decided.
Well, a lot of the lot lines are doing a 0 lot line.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So why aren't we allowed to do 0 lot lines?
We're a primary street, and so we have to have effectively
Ooh.
0 lot line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean we're the primary street that they wouldn't let us put the address on because they said it was, they made us change the damn address?
Like Conway?
Yeah.
Right.
No, I didn't forget.
I mean, that actually makes sense, and quite frankly, by doing phase 2, we would have had to have done it anyways. So, it's
All right. Did anybody else have any questions pertaining to the tower?
Yeah, I do have one other.
would we prefer to phase.
You still talking?
No, he stopped.
What's the cost of each level of that parking?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
How much are those levels costing us for the parking,
We
approximately?
don't have a per level basis. Our kind of current estimate is about 50,000 a space.
Yeah.
Which
Wow.
is in line. It's in line with the market. I mean, it's.
Yeah,
I know
man.
it sounds crazy.
Parking
It
is
drives me
super
nuts, but that's sort of it. I mean, even 10 years ago, we were at 30,000 a space.
So I was curious, is it profitable as a parking, paid parking? Like if we did the extra levels, the city's not, could you actually profit from it? Or is the rate on return of $50,000 a space going to be like 100 years?
I'm not quite following the question. I mean, the cost is sort of the cost.
He's
as
saying,
far as-
no, he's saying,
Can we make
he's
money
asking
doing
about the revenue source of charging for parking.
Like, say if the city wasn't, if they didn't know yet about the other two levels, if we went and start building it, and then if they couldn't do it, if we were able to rent those spaces out, is that profitable? I'm just curious.
I'm not an expert on parking. My gut would be no. We'd have trouble getting an ROI that would be profitable in the near term. I mean, right now, I just don't think there's enough demand for someone that would pay $20 a day or whatever it is for spaces.
Yeah.
Now, when the bayfront's done and there's a much larger need for parking, then certainly that could be another case.
Plus, we'd have to put up all the money up front anyways, and could probably afford it. Okay, just figured I'd throw that out there. Anybody else have any comments? All right, groundbreaking. Cypress 2 and Lofts on Lemon 2.
Okay, so on our call with John Wiseman and co yesterday, we kind of settled on Wednesday, September 17th. So can everybody check that date? What's your availability? Wednesday, September 17th.
What time?
I haven't decided yet, but definitely in the morning before it gets hot. And then I want to talk logistics with y'all, if that date seems workable. There's no commission meetings, I already checked, city or county.
When do we plan on holding it?
Well, I'm going to talk about that next.
Free before 11.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to have it before 11 anyway. It would be getting toasty by then.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. Intel stock just soared because Trump has decided he's taking a stake in it for the government.
Okay, so
Yes, I own shares in it.
all right. So Lost on Lemon, you know, John really wants to have the groundbreaking, and I know the board does too. I'm trying to figure out, I don't really want to have two separate groundbreaking events. Okay? And I don't feel like,
Why?
Well, last time we talked about the logistics a little
Yeah,
bit,
the
that we'd have
logistics.
one spot and if people want to go to the other in a van or something.
right. So that's what, let's explore that. So John really wants to have one at Lofts, but there's literally no parking at Lofts. I mean, there's not even enough parking for the few remaining parking spaces for the residents who live there, much less having 50 people pull up and want to park for an event. Okay. So one thought would be we have a lot of parking at Cypress. We have a nice new clubhouse at Cypress. One thought would be to have everybody assemble there where there's parking and stuff. And we could also have a bus available, either a charter bus or a scat bus, and drive, you know, have some type of an event there at Cypress for our groundbreaking.
How many people do you anticipate?
I mean,
That's the rub. We don't know.
I mean, for groundbreakings, sometimes we've had as many as 70, 80.
Yeah, 50.
But to me, a grand opening is going to attract more people than a
So we're
groundbreaking.
gonna need two buses. 5 to a bus.
I'm assuming we're not going to need more than one bus.
I was thinking maybe it could be, we could kind of make it nice, I think. Maybe we could do something like that, but also if we're at Cypress and we're like in the clubhouse or what have you, maybe we could have like a little presentation, maybe like graphics on the TV or something that talks about Lofts on Lemon too. You know, have some nice graphics up there at its current stage, and we can have some talking points about Lofts on Lemon, and then also shuttle people who want to go over.
Right.
So I think we could do something nice graphically. That might be, you know, John might feel a little bit better than that too. We can have some stuff.
And then maybe the bus could pull up at Lofts, like on Lemon, and there we could figure out some way for people to like, because you always want like a shovel shot, right?
Mhm.
And John's ordering shovels. I mean, that's kind of the
Right.
quintessential groundbreaking photo, right? Is people with shovels and stuff.
Are we wearing our hard hats also?
You should bring your hard hat.
That's what I mentioned.
So, but we could have a quick, like, groundbreaking photo
That's cool.
at Lofts, but not have like
The speech.
another big program,
Yeah,
right?
I like that. Yeah.
And maybe John could also be at the Cypress Clubhouse to
Right, talk about the project
Right.
and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that sounds
You
good.
can also speak with Dan. They got their whole parking lot, in the side, the gravel parking lot. So that'd probably be like 40, 50 parking spots.
or if there's parking at Lofts, we could do it in the Lofts lobby.
Uh-huh.
The program could be there, and then we could get on the bus and drive over to Cypress.
I prefer to do that if we can find the parking. I think the lots of Lemons
I mean, I can find out, give me like a week.
Yeah.
because we've got, Cypress is still another place. I don't know. How do you guys feel? You got preference?
Whatever you want to do.
I'm good.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I'll
Either
find
one.
out.
Because the Lofts lobby is massive, so we could easily have a program in there. And then
Yeah.
walk out the back door and go do the shovel shot,
Yeah.
get on the bus.
I know City Side, I just actually knew somebody today that said they had a ton of parking over at City Side in their garage.
Okay.
So,
Which is further now, right?
across the street.
Oh, for here, you mean?
For moms, like if we had to,
Yeah.
be about to walk for a minute, but
The problem we have in Lofts, I'm sorry, is the school kids take up all the spaces. That's the big deal. And they got that big empty yard, but they don't use it.
I feel like if people have to like park a few blocks away and walk, they may not do it
It's only 95 degrees.
for a groundbreaking. That's-
They'll all look like sweat.
Groundbreakings
pills.
are,
Yeah.
groundbreakings are a big deal.
I'll,
I'm not
It's the
disagreeing
biggest
with
deal
that.
is the.
but I'll find out about that, because
yeah.
if that's the case, then
Yeah, that'd be good. All right, but please block off the morning
Save the
of
date.
so we'll say
September
9.
17th. Yeah, like maybe 9 to 11ish.
Are we gonna have, like we did before, some breakfast sandwiches and coffee and whatnot?
Okay.
We should.
Do you have any ideas?
Yeah. tell
The
John
breakfast
to-
sandwiches?
Tell John to pay for it.
Bacon, egg, and
Have
cheese.
a core pay for it all. I'm serious.
No,
That's why he wants it.
no, I know some people. I'll ask around.
He can pay for part of the groundbreaking.
Does McDonald's deliver?
No,
Tracy wants it.
no McDonald's.
Fine, Burger King.
Burger King's all right.
No, I'll get some people on that.
I'm sure you will.
Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
I'm sure you have
Either one or do it
intimate
for free.
knowledge of their workings.
Okay, so anybody other questions on that?
Nope.
Moving on to Cypress Square 2, Court Space 2, Emerald Park Place 3.
Joe, you have an update on Cypress
excuse me.
Square 2?
I'm sorry.
Wait,
before-
hang on.
Excuse me. Do we have any signage up or anything there that says, like, what the
I don't,
project
do we
is?
have any signage up yet,
The
Joe?
board chair's name on it and the other board
We need to work on
members.
that.
With John Colon's name on it?
I
And
want
picture- and
Ernestine's
picture.
name
A
first.
mural of them on the fence, if you want.
Yeah,
Ernestine's
we
name
do.
has to be first, this way they can use it for their dartboard.
John's name needs to be up top, larger font.
The one with the bullseye on it?
And you know what? We also need the, no, that was ARPA.
Yeah. No, we do need a sign. I'll get with Marmer about doing that. At the same
Yeah,
time, we should do it for Lofts.
Oh, actually, yeah, Lofts 2 is ARPA.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we
we'll
do have to have
sign that.
signage for that.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd mention.
And I know we don't have any signs up at Cypress. It's just construction fencing.
We do not.
Can we get some signs?
So we'll get beautiful signs up for the event.
Something.
All right.
Great, beautiful sign.
Joe-
Make sure our logo is the biggest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice for a change.
Don't roll
So
your
what's
eyes.
the update on it?
Make the Kimberly Horn logo small.
Yeah.
Well, we have to stop talking so Joe can give us.
Yeah, Joe, what's up?
Yeah, so just remember the sign won't be visible to a public street, so that's sort of why we didn't.
Why?
Because the project's not facing a public street.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, well, that's true.
I'm not discounting it. I mean, we should have one. We talked about it. I think it just kind of, fell off the agenda with construction. So we'll certainly get one out there.
Well, at the very worst, William, we get it like just?
Can we make it like 100 feet tall?
You can put it on Orange Avenue.
You can see it from Orange.
The entrance, the street comes in.
Oh yeah, we could put it at Orange.
Oh.
Oh, there's Joe's picture.
All right, I'm getting off. If I hang up,
That's typical. You should be able to.
oh, it says end meeting for all.
You shouldn't have done that.
Darn it! That's what I was worried about. It's really, we just need Joe to join again.
Yeah, well, that's a good suggestion.
Don't show me.
No,
I just forgot. I should have used the back for Kimberly Horn. No, nobody's getting into it.
I get it. You mentioned
Their
it.
logo should be like this big. Ours like,
So, he's got a big ego. The last guy was really good ran for the State House.
they got a big ego and a big checkbook.
Oh, he's in, oh, there he is.
Okay, Joe, so why don't you give us an
All right.
update?
Now you're on the big screen.
We'll work the sign up.
We got a
Oh,
little
cool.
one for
Okay,
you.
good thing I dressed up. Not a whole lot to update on Cypress 2. Things are moving forward. We got slabs and
Thanks,
foundations
Kenny.
moving forward. It's starting to look like a real site. We're hoping to get the foundations done, hopefully in the next couple weeks here. It's really just mostly been site work so far, some grading of the ponds, some tree removal, stuff like that. So, we'll hopefully be going vertical with the slab in about sometime, hopefully this month. We should be going vertical with the slabs.
And what's our, remind me of the end date again?
The what?
Completion date?
It's the end of next year. So I believe in September of next year is our current estimate on schedule.
Great. Hey, Jake, welcome.
Hey everyone, how
Hey, Jake.
Good. All right, then did anybody have any questions on, or concerns on last Cypress Square 2? Okay, Lost on Lemon, good timing.
Phase 2.
How's 22nd Street going? Is that that's part of it?
Not yet. It's,
Okay.
well,
Yeah.
we'll get to that. It's the next one.
Okay. Oh,
Jake, you're the one that did all the heavy lifting and closed it while on vacation. So you want to talk about lofts and the closing, phase 2?
Of course. My family just got home, so hopefully no crazy yelling. No, Loft 2 is a big team effort from everybody. Tough closing, so it's always fantastic to have this group as partners. Definitely wouldn't be possible without just all the work. I know there was a day that I think William, Jack, John, Joe, myself, we were all in the county, and they weren't going to provide any more funds. So, it just, a lot of things had to come together to make it work. So that job's off and running. Wiseman team's doing good work. They mobilized this past week, having good calls with them, and yeah, that project should hopefully be out of the ground. I think probably in the next month and a half or so, once we can get those FPL lines underground, and just a big team effort to make that happen. So just great work all around.
Yeah, well, we thank you too. We really appreciate all the effort you've done to make it happen as well. I didn't know about the vacation closing, but we definitely appreciate that as well, following through even on vacay.
Yeah, I blame William. I was telling him that I was willing to move to Sarasota, and then he was like, "Why don't you just go to Spain?" I think better.
At least you didn't get caught in the middle of the Basque Revolution.
There you go. There you go. I knew that activates you, John.
All right. Does anybody have any questions or concerns on lofts? All right. Thanks. Appreciate that update. Cypress Square 3.
Jake, you're on a roll. You want to talk about it?
Sure. Yeah, we had another good call today. So really, we're just in a spot where we're getting all the plans updated to go in front of the planning board. So hopefully that goes well. Again, similarly on that deal, really I couldn't take any credit. I know it's William and Joe, the rest of the board, getting $2.5 million from the county. So we're working through that process now. We've got Bank of America signed up. I think realistically, just given all the paperwork and other things that need to take place, that job probably would close, I would think, probably about March of next year. But at this point, all the financing has been put together, and it's just a question of us, moving forward with the plans and doing all the paper pushing that we got to do. But that job's in a great shape, and it's still able to get the look and everything else that I know this board worked really hard on for gardens.
Great.
So that's the update there.
I was curious, kind of like on all these projects, how are we doing on our funding deadlines? Sounds like we're in good shape for them based off of what you've said as far as schedule.
Yeah, I think we're doing pretty well. I think that, like anything, I think we're getting all the input from the collective, and that always takes a little bit more time. But ultimately, we're doing well on it. Haven't run into any penalties or anything like that. Some of the latest items that Florida Housing has been putting on. I think the group's been doing a great job of just making collective decisions, doing them quickly, and then moving forward in what's been a pretty tough financial market. So all's pretty good.
Great. Okay, any questions or concerns on Cypress Square 3?
Nope.
Okay, moving on to F, consideration of letter from community leaders asking to reinstate former court's name into new Amaryllis Park Place campus developments.
Yeah, Andrew, we haven't gotten that in the mail, have we, officially? So I was copied on a draft letter from Walter Gilbert, and it had a number of signatories on it.
What was the gist of the letter?
Yeah, a number of people, leaders from the community. The
Was
gist,
it elected?
the gist of the letter was that they felt, and they kind of gave very brief summaries of why the community felt historically it was important to honor, Bethune and Carver and Mays, who is not the Mays family we think of today, and Sona Gregg and Gore. So they felt that it was important. I think there's about six or seven maybe. It's important to continue to honor those particular people.
Okay.
And I know Ken had a conversation with Mr. Gilbert, and I alerted Carolyn to it, and she had a conversation with, because she felt like before they would send me a letter, they should have reached out to me and had a discussion about really what they're looking for, because it's not very clear in the letter.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not asking for streets to be named. It sounded like what they were asking for was some type of placard or something on the buildings, for example, that have the name. So anyway,
How many buildings we got?
so we had three. We have one at Ambrose Park Place. We have three at Cypress Square. We're building three more now. So that is 7. And then we're going to build 2 more in the next phase. So we'll have 9 buildings.
Could we call like each building by one of the, do we like number of buildings and stuff? Or could we just call like
I mean,
each
we
building
could.
something and
We
just have a
could.
little plaque on each one?
I wouldn't make it like a.
Or just have a plaque on each one. We could do that.
I think a plaque on each one because I don't want like some weird address stuff. Like, you know what I mean, where the courts at blah 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 building unit number.
And
Then you gotta-
Right. Yeah.
I think a
It's
little
time for the
differently.
police, the fire.
I think we should make a nice plaque, and it should be just one plaque for all the names. Instead of, I don't want to do a repeat of what was on each building.
Sure.
That's counterproductive. It makes it look like we're just following in the footsteps. And since those buildings weren't exactly the best things since sliced bread, I'm not trying to replicate them. What I want is something that's a nice plaque that has each name on it, even with a small explanation maybe of
Hey,
what it represents.
Joe, do you still have Wayne, who he does like the little plaques and stuff like that? Were you able to reach him for the other plaques? Can't hear you.
you're muted.
Talk louder.
Mumble louder.
Commissioner, I have not spoken to him yet, but I can reach out about doing something.
Okay.
I would agree about doing a plaque. I think that, even one commemorative plaque at the, kind of community building where everyone's going to be focused makes more sense than, I think naming a building is sort of,
Yeah.
of the past. I'd recommend against it.
And actually, all of the mailboxes for the whole community are going to be on that one side of the community building, for example. So that could be a prominent place to feature it.
That's what you put.
And then all the community members who live there are going to see it.
You can also do like, even if not on the buildings, like on the streets or around the parking where, like people can go watch or walk by and read them, and
Or one thing too.
like they've done around here, right? Where you walk and you're like, oh,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's too many plaques.
Like
Another
the
option.
Newtown Alive signs and stuff.
yeah. I mean,
I
I'm
think
just saying,
the
if you don't have to make
mailboxes
7 of
is
them,
a
but
good
you can make
shot,
3 or, put them on the mailboxes.
One nice plaque near the mailboxes. Everybody goes to get their mail. Everybody will see it almost every day.
What about sometimes on buildings like we do cornerstones, and you could do like a corner where you have a plaque, our plaque, because we do our plaque with all the commissioners and all that, and it's on the corner of the building, so you do one plaque, and then on the other corner of it, it's like 2-sided plaque, one on one edge, one on the other. Has it listed.
But generally,
But I think a plaque we can.
But generally, we're only going to do one of those, like monument signs per development.
Right.
Right.
That's what I mean,
So,
I think the monument sign makes more of a statement than just putting it on the side of the building. Because I'll be honest with you, I have never seen a plaque on the side of Lofts. I haven't seen a plaque
I
on
don't
the
think there
side of
is.
Cypress Square. I haven't seen a plaque on the side of Amaryllis
Do we have
Place.
plaques with our stuff?
we're working on this.
They've been being worked on
So-
for the last 3 years.
We should have those actually.
So-
going forward, we should
so
have those
Joe-
done with the grand opening.
Or Joe Ameline, like, there's somebody local that does that.
There
I'm trying to
is?
make it classy, and you guys
Yeah.
are trying to minimize it.
Let's do it.
So,
Is there a,
Okay, so
there's no public art requirement or anything like that. I'm just thinking about the public art piece of this too. If
No,
you
but the public art
That's a
committee.
great idea. Let's ask Kimberly Horn if they'll pay for it.
Man, you won't let up today. What
that
happened?
roll?
What happened, John?
they
I
sent
told
him a bad
What
email.
happened? Because something wrong was at the last meeting. This is how it usually is.
The public art committee did approve a $30,000 budget for a mural at Emerald's Park Place,
Okay.
and they're going to issue a call for artists.
When you get that, can you send it to me? Because I know one in just south of us, like Venice. And that's what she does.
Okay.
So I guess we can agree on a plaque if you want to get back on with a plaque, and then we can determine what it is or a monument sign, whatever. If you want to respond to them. Say,
Plaque is fine.
the board is all in favor of it. We'll do some type of commemorative
Something reasonable, not something ridiculous, of
Okay.
course. I don't want it grotesque. I want it tasteful.
plaque. Of course, nothing but.
Okay.
Alrighty. Did anybody have any questions?
I do. What about the single-family home? What's going on with that? The single-family home.
Yeah, I know. I have to check on that.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
And I forwarded you. I had one
So I
builder.
thought
that,
we were preparing to go out for bids. But,
Okay. I have one builder that was interested that I forwarded.
okay.
What are we doing, renovating it?
To
No, that's
Lance.
one we're building.
To Lance?
Whomever. But I sent it to William. So, send it to you.
Where's it gonna be at?
Why are we building a single?
North
family
Osprey.
home?
What are you talking about?
One we demolished.
We demolished.
Oh, okay.
We got that. We're building
Okay.
the two single-family home and then the detached.
What?
Oh,
We can't
I know-
build
I-
a-
Oh, okay, the one on, okay.
I think one of the holdups on that, honestly, it might be my fault, but I took one of the community foundation leadership on a tour,
Okay.
and one of them asked me like, are there some opportunities that are for our donors to be involved? And so I pointed out the Bertha Mitchell Playground, which we totally have to upgrade. And then I drove them by the North Osprey vacant lot and talked to them about, what we want to do there.
Okay.
So I sent them stuff on that, and I need to follow up on whether or not
Okay.
there are any donors who want to sponsor it or contribute to it or whatever. So
Okay.
We have to put a plaque up with their name on it.
Maybe.
that would be nice.
And how about the city-owned property next to City Hall? Any updates on that?
No.
You know where they stand with it at all, or mom's the word at the moment? Okay. And then I did have another question. I did want to back up just to hear on the Common Tower. I forgot to ask, because we talked about the parking thing, but where are we with the overall project as far as process?
It's a great question. So we had a call today with Raymond James, who's the investor on the first phase. I think that was a pretty good call, just trying to clean up some paperwork-wise in terms of moving everything forward. From a parking standpoint, I could probably give you less info than William or Joe. I know there's been a lot of positive meetings, but not necessarily, any firm financial commitment yet from the city. So I think on that job, there's just kind of a lot of open questions still. And yeah, a little bit of a fact-finding mission. I think some of the items that we can control that we could delve a little bit into on this meeting, or we could wait just as we get more intel.
Yeah, I was just kind of looking for like an overall thing, like when do you think, when do you think the end date is? Do we have funding deadlines for it? And then what do you think of the overall thing? Like, do you think you're gonna close, next year, the end of next year,
Gotcha.
start construction, something, just a big picture type of deal?
Yeah, so big picture, I think that we should be able to get to a realistic closing probably by Q4 of next year. I think that's probably the most realistic, just given where we're at and kind of all the open items, and obviously ensuring that parking, I think that's number one, is figured out along with the rest of the funding. I think big picture wise, some of the things that we need to decide as a group are number one, what are we doing parking wise? Because if we don't get any commitment from the city, I think we need to probably revisit that design, because then it'll be way over park. And already the project definitely is in need of our funds, right? I think the other thing that we need to talk about, and I just bring up for the board, is one bedrooms versus studios. I don't think it was as clear. Maybe I know we presented the site plan and that there were studios on there, but I did talk to William about it. And I don't think maybe that we had specifically dove into that. So I think the board needs to make sure that they're okay with studios. We've done it on plenty of projects, and I think that it's a good use as long as they're designed appropriately, which I know they will be. But I think that's something we need to talk about, because let's just say that we want to go lower, right? We want to take it from 5 stories down to 4 and remove a parking deck. The only way we're going to be able to keep those 96 units is doing more studios. So that's probably the other thing we need to discuss as we learn more about the city's commitment. And I think the last big one is really vouchers. So that's the one thing that the Housing Authority and the board control. So just to kind of rewind the history, when we were initially going for funding, the board had approved to go for 160 units, and we couldn't get the city to sign off on that based on the existing zoning. At that time, we were going to fund basically half the job with vouchers, and then at the last second, we changed to 96 units because that was the max that the city was willing to support on zoning. And so right now, where the job is at is we need to decide, hey, for this all-senior building that's next to another all-senior building, fully subsidized, how are we going to subsidize this one? My recommendation, based on running the numbers, is that the board move to put vouchers on all 96 units. I got lots of rationales for that, but I think the simplest ones have to do with just general use of the building and the campus as a whole. And the second one is for financial purposes. When we modeled this up, basically that amount of vouchers on the job helps add roughly $4.5 to $5 million in perm debt financing to close the gap. And so without it, it's not like we can't do the project, but that's just more money that we need to go seek. So that might be too much info, but those are some of the global big picture items for us to start thinking about.
Great, appreciate
But
that.
on the 96, so does that include like the live local bonuses and all that lovely stuff?
So what it includes basically is what the city is willing to sign off on with all the bonuses, given the underlying, I think it's either downtown core or downtown edge. And
DTE.
we all work, what's that?
DTE, yeah.
Yeah, so basically it's DTE. If we were to go to downtown core, we could get more. And there's all these different
across the
discussions
street.
about it.
What would that take?
It's too late.
I think,
Oh, never mind.
What?
yeah, I was going to say, before we go down that route, I think we did get them to sign off on the 96. And to the extent that we would go through that process, probably talking about 6 months to a year. And then I don't know that we would be able to finance, so many more units, especially then I know height's a concern. Then we're going up further, we're blocking views, etc. So I think we actually landed at a pretty good spot. It doesn't require any major changes with the city, but I do think those are the major fact patterns. The vouchers, the parking, and then going back to the county and upcoming funding that they have.
So what you're telling us is we have room for 160, but they'll only let us build 96?
As of right, yes.
Okay, so what you're telling me is it's political.
Well, it's code, right?
Well, yes and no. I mean, like what you said when you say across the street, William, which across the street?
This is the city's project. They're the ones who want
That way.
the housing there.
Yeah,
To the hotel.
And they're not going to sign off on
It's
that?
downtown edge.
Folks, I
We,
mean,
we
this-
already
this
we already
is what-
went through this whole
I remember.
hullabaloo,
And
That's
and
where we are at.
the city attorney wouldn't sign off on it.
I don't care about the city attorney. He works
Okay,
for the
but that was
commissioners.
6 months ago, and so we
That
had
was
to
6 months ago.
we had to apply. I called all the board members, and I was like,
Yeah, I remember.
do we want to have the city rezone it and stuff? Because Aaron Koch was like, maybe we can get the city to sponsor the rezone. And I called all the board members individually, and everybody was in agreement because it was a great funding opportunity to apply now for 96 units.
Yeah, plus because we can't,
Which is what we did.
we can't afford all those units.
Yeah,
190.
I don't know how we would ever finance 160 units. So, even as it is, we're going to be applying for, this is the other thing I was going to tell y'all. The county has not advertised that they're taking applications for it. But out of the 210 million in CDBG DR that they got for last year's storms, 30 million of it is the pot for multifamily affordable, and we're going to be applying for 8 million for this project.
But that's not affordable.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
What?
If it's not working people, it's elderly and disabled, you told us.
Yeah, it's affordable.
Affordable.
What do you mean?
That's, how's that affordable?
What do you mean?
That's the.
120% and below the area median income.
What do you think is affordable?
Well, according to the stats that I've been seeing, people on Social Security are not gonna be able to afford that.
Yeah, yeah, they can.
Well-
It's based on income.
It also depends, and this goes back to what Jake was saying. So I was thinking we would agree to project base 50% of the units. That was my original. That's what we did at Amaryllis Park Place, for example.
Right.
But what Jake is suggesting or requesting is that we make all 96 units project-based vouchers.
To bridge that gap, the financial
$4
gap.
million.
I mean,
I actually have to do some analysis with my voucher team to even find out if, because we're in shortfall right now, like hundreds of other housing authorities are around the country. So we literally are forbidden from issuing one voucher, and we're in that holding pattern month after month after month. We've applied to HUD to get additional funding. Assuming we get it, they literally won't give it to us until the last minute.
well, what is our
And so
attrition like each month?
it's 10 or 11 vouchers.
So if we're looking at a year, we should be able to make that, the 96.
But what if we get the $8 million?
But we also, we have no idea what the appropriation is gonna be for next year.
Sure.
If it's a clean CR and there's no anomaly, then everybody is up a creek. So I'm just saying, like,
Sure.
I know it doesn't sound like much, but 96 units that are all leasing up within a month or two, like, that's a lot.
But if you go to the county and we get the $8 million, won't that help offset the needed costs? Or are you
It would
including
help a
that already?
lot. It would help a lot.
All right.
And then I have one more other question. So what's the scoop on these guys back here with the burying the lines? Because I know, when they came in and we were allowing them to help stage there.
Yeah.
And that was kind of part of the discussion, so, and I know we're not gonna give the easement.
I haven't
which is-
heard anything, so I think they figured out Plan B.
But are they burying, because that was part of letting them stage on our property was to bury the lines.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Do we
don't
have,
know.
do
I
we
assume
have
they
an
are.
agreement in place?
I think we do.
I felt like we did.
Yeah.
So I think we need to dust that off and find out, because I want to make sure they don't, just like those dudes skated, I don't want to make sure they don't go walking away and go,
Yeah. I did get, Tim emailed the other day and said they're done with needing to stage back there. So they're putting up a temporary fence, and then they're gonna come back and put up a permanent fence and some other stuff. So,
like I said, I think we should find out, because,
Yeah.
that's gonna, nicer for our residents, not having to look at a power line, and I know it's nicer for them, because I would hate to buy a multi-million-dollar condo and have a giant cable sitting right out in front of it.
Well, they're burying all the cables, aren't they?
That's what we're discussing. I want to make sure they do it. and
Yeah, they better.
That they don't walk away.
I don't think you can build a new development without burying the cables, can you?
I mean,
You can?
Yep.
You would know. So you don't have to bury the cables.
You don't have to. There's minimum offsets, and
Risden did.
so most do, but you don't have to.
especially when you got zero lot line, like,
That's pretty stupid. That's like a polite way of saying if a hurricane comes and knocks their power out, too bad. So what if your oxygen machine dies?
yeah, if you can find out from either Rick or whomever, because I felt like we had an agreement with him.
I worry about that stuff.
Any other comments?
I fought enough with Kimberly Horn today.
Let's show you, you got every lip.
Jake and Joe, you got anything else for us that you want to ask? You all good?
No, we're good. Thank you.
Okay. Hey, well, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate
Jake's
it.
got jet lag.
All right. Take care.
I'm all good. You can keep going. I'm just kidding. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Take care. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.